They're cussed naturally when they're playing on the trees and digging holes. Any other questions?
How well do they get along, the African Indians?
Yeah, so they come from similar herd structures, so they can get along. An elephant can really get along with any animal. They just have to get comfortable with it. They have to know it can't harm them. And so when we introduced Carol and Patty to Lou, we kind of started slow. We had separate fences so they could see and touch, but not be physically together. And then we would put them together and monitor them slowly, and now they're fine. The way it works with elephants, they're all dominated by a matriarch. The matriarch is always an older female, very strong, very intelligent. She'll control the whole family herd. In the wild, it can actually be up to 75 elephants in the family herd, all controlled by the matriarch. The males, the bulls, they only live in the family group up to the age of 15. After that, they're chased away from the family group to live by themselves or among other males until they go through a cycle called must. For a month out of the year, they're unhandleable, they fear nothing. All they want to do is come back into the group of females, dominate, pick their mates, mate, go away, and the process continues that way. So in our group of elephants, Lou is the matriarch, she is the dominant female. So she kind of keeps order in the group, there's no fighting, it's all because she's the boss, she keeps control. Any other questions?
Is that because she's bigger, or?
No, it has to do with intelligence combined with size. It's not always the biggest, but it's usually the biggest, but they also have to be intelligent and meant for it. Not all elephants have it in them to be the boss, be the matriarch.
And Carol's okay with that?
Yeah, Carol and Patty, you'll see Patty later on when she goes outside. Patty's the same size as Lou, and 10 years older. So, yeah, Patty just gave in. She said, you're the boss, we can have that. Yeah, so they do see in color. There's not many studies on that, but the most recent one said they do see in color. You had a question over here.
How long do they usually live?
All right, so typical lifespan for an elephant, anywhere from 40 all the way up to 70. The oldest Asian on record was 86, and the oldest African was 83. So they can live very long, but really, the African reaches the age of 40, 50, starts getting up there. The Asian elephant more like 60. So the Asian elephant has been living a lot longer than the African.
Yes, how many elephants do you have on the premises?
So we have 3 elephants. You'll see Patty shortly when we put them outside. Usually Patty's already out, you can see her, but like I said, my dad wanted to watch that Bucks game. So you have to have one caregiver per elephant. Yeah, she's got a little itch going. Any other questions?
What's their sense of smell like?
So their smell, good question, not a lot of people ask. That long nose, excellent smell. They say 3 to 4 times greater than a hound dog. There's a couple that did a safari in Africa. They came and visited us. They said at the safari, they had everybody take their shoes off, throw them in a pile, and the elephant took each shoe and gave it to its owner. So excellent, excellent smell. Also, like I said, they can smell water miles away.
That's really smart.
Excellent.
What are their main predators besides humans?
So predators for an elephant, not really any. Lions, maybe 5, 6, a whole pride of lions to possibly bring an elephant down. Tigers, the same, but it would have to be a lot of them. Really, when they're babies, they're a little more vulnerable, but they really stay with their mother for a long time. They stay in the herd, so they're pretty protected. When they get about half Lou's size, not much that can bring them down. It's just too big, too strong. So these elephants, as far as breeding, they're all too old. Really, if an elephant's never had a calf before, up to 30 years old. If they've had one before, up to 32, 35. So kind of similar like humans, but these are all too old for breeding. We did have 2 bulls at one time, but like I was saying, they started coming of age, and our matriarch got real rough with it, so we couldn't keep them. That really prevented us from having any offspring. In the future, we'd love to get younger ones and start a breeding program. It's just very difficult nowadays to get more elephants.
Will they harm any other animals besides their own species?
Will they hurt them? What do you mean?
Like, will they like charge any other animals besides like?
Yeah. So if there's an animal that's coming into their area and they don't want them around, they can get very defensive of their family, of their group. They're very family oriented. In general, they're very docile, but they can be strong if they're threatened.
Do they have babies?
So no, they've never had any babies. It does take 22 months for an elephant to carry, so one of the longest pregnancies. After that, they stay with the mother up to 2 years. So really a 5-year cycle in between birth for an elephant. Twins have been born, but that's very rare. It's usually always one at a time. When they're born, about 200 pounds. All right, so the diet per day, good question. 15 pounds of grain, like a horse grain. We put a special vitamin supplement in there. It has omega-3, salt, a lot of different minerals, so good for them. The hay, 200 pounds of hay per elephant per day. So a lot of hay consumption. Also, fruits, vegetables, they love them, but they can't get enough of the nutrients out of that. They have to eat the hay all day long to maintain the body weight. Coastal around here, they like. This is a Tipton 44. They're really liking this. Also, Timothy grass they love. It's up north. It just needs to be a clean grass hay, no weeds, and not too high in protein, like alfalfa is too high in protein for them. But that's no weeds, no clover or anything, they're really good.
Are these your first elephants here?
No, so my dad and my family have actually had elephants here since '86. Up to 6 Africans at one time. Lou's always been here. Carol and Patty. Actually, let me do the history. Nobody asked that. So Lou originated from Zimbabwe, which is a country north of South Africa. She came over by ship into Miami. My parents picked her up there when she was 1.5 years old. Reason back then you could acquire an elephant. Countries in Africa would measure rainfall, how much vegetation to maintain all the different herds of elephants, mainly on the big national parks, big game reserves. And unfortunately, they take herds of elephants completely down. They left the babies as orphans back then, and that's what they would sell to Europe, South America, and the United States. So that's when all these Africans came into this country. Carol and Patty, they actually were born in a breeding facility in Thailand. They came over when they were 1 year old. They spent the last 46 years with the same family. Last year, we purchased them to become part of our family, join Lou's herd.
How long does it take you to train them?
So it's training for an elephant. It's hard to say training because elephants so intelligent, they can do everything kind of naturally. It's just a matter of communication. So getting the elephant to understand what you want them to do, what you're trying to ask them to do, takes a lot of treats, a lot of repeating things. So the first thing you want to do, because you do have to work on their feet, you have to trim their nails. So you'll touch the back of their foot and you say, foot, go foot, go foot. You say, all right, good girl. You give them a treat. The words just start processing. It could take a day, it could take a month, a year to learn what you're talking about. But once they realize what it is, they never forget. Excellent memory. The example for that is they're so intelligent. Imagine you're in a foreign country, you're talking to somebody there, and they just have no idea what you're talking about. Just don't speak the same language. The same thing with the elephant. So intelligent, but they have no idea what you're talking about. So you really have to go slow and repeat everything. They have to learn. Any questions?
Why does he have the tusk and not that one?
So, like I said, Lou has big ivory because she's an African female. The Asian elephant does have tusks. They're right under this lip here. They're pretty small. Usually, you won't see that tusk on the Asian until they pick their trunk up, and you'll see the little tusk. African elephant, all the Africans have big ivory. How about the size? So Lou weighs 9,000 pounds. The heaviest elephant on record was over 27,000 pounds. So Lou is 9 feet tall. The tallest elephant was 13 feet 3 inches. So if you look at the wall over here, that trash can on top, that first mark is Lou, and that second mark was the biggest elephant. So just huge.
Was that in the wild or was that
Yeah, that was documented in the wild.
how long ago?
The most famous captive elephant was Jumbo, and he was only about 12 and a half feet tall.
Okay.
Where do you measure them from?
Right at the top of the shoulder thing. Yeah, right at the shoulder blade up there, that's the only part of the body that doesn't fluctuate. They can move that head up and down, but right at the shoulders, that's the height. Forget?
How long have they been here?
So Lou since '86, Carol and Patty 1 year.
How many years?
Patty is about the same as Lou. You'll see when we put them outside, but she's about the same as Lou. Yeah. Patty's an Asian elephant, but she's taller. She has longer legs, so she has a different body type than Carol. But she's still an Asian elephant.
Did any of them have any circus time or no? None of these did?
Yeah, so in the past, these elephants have done just about everything. For Lou, 7 years